And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Hello again, everyone, and thanks for joining us for this Monday's edition of the Alaska Weather segment. Up first, we've got a high wind warning out here for the southern southeast coast, Prince of Wales Island, over toward Ketchikan, and those areas, Metlakatla and Annette. That's for tomorrow night, for Tuesday night, for winds possibly gusting to 65 miles an hour. Strong front heading into the area there may produce winds gusting to 65 miles an hour again tomorrow night. And from there, satellite imagery showing this system moving onshore there to the central southeast coast today, bringing showers and areas of rain across all of the panhandle here from Dixon Entrance right on up to Haines and Skagway, Cake and Petersburg, picking about an inch of rain during the day today, while Heidelberg, or actually Wrangell and Haines picked up half an inch of rain. And lighter amounts here along the North Gulf Coast, kind of a showery condition there, and then breaking out pretty nicely here across south central Alaska, clearing out in northern Cook Inlet, on up into the Copper River Basin. Clear skies, Kodiak Island, those northwest winds as the rain ended this morning there, back into Bristol Bay. Some clouds here from Norton Sound into the northern Kuskokwim Valley. And then not too bad up over the northwest part of the state, light winds and dry conditions all the way up to the Arctic coast and out to the west. See the next system here tracking eastward there, pushing a front into the Alaska Peninsula and across eastern Aleutians today. As you can see, that low center dropping southeastward there following the jet stream. And that's when it'll be dropping down off the map and then coming back up tomorrow night and bringing the high wind warning into the panhandle with gale and storm force winds associated with it here over the Gulf of Alaska and Northeast Pacific. Forecast for tonight, that system tracks eastward to south of Kodiak Island, and that will push chance of rain up towards Sitkinak and those areas, but staying south of Kodiak City. Definitely dry for Fognak Island. Nice evening and overnight period here over southern Alaska. Light winds, variably cloudy skies to clear conditions. Bristol Bay on up across the western interior to the western north slope. Not bad at all there with some clearing. Flurries for the eastern Arctic coast, locally the north slope, maybe some light snow shower activity along the Yukon River here in that portion over the Yukon Flats. Otherwise dry for the interior, some scattered showers out over the Bering Sea. Next system pushing wind and rain into the western Aleutians later tonight. And this system here tracks up and weakens just south of Yakutat. Southwest flow puts an active trough, so it stays wet and windy over the southeast coast through the night tonight. And then this center here on Tuesday afternoon tracks eastward. See a little bit of a break showing up with lighter winds and less shower activity, maybe even ending by late tomorrow afternoon into early evening along the central and south coast areas. Staying on the wet side to the north. And that trough moisture pushes up and pulls back to the west here, bringing showers back over Prince William Sound from the eastern North Gulf Coast. That shower activity pushing possibly as far east as Portage and maybe even into the Chugach Mountains with showers and rain on the east side of Kodiak Island, drier to the west. Otherwise, interior areas pretty good with some flurries possible here over the Koyukuk Valley along the Yukon River there, actually on up to the eastern Arctic coast with high pressure making for light winds over the Arctic coast north slope area, and pretty light winds here even over the Chukchi Sea, eastern Bering Sea. Good conditions, mostly sunny tomorrow along the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta area, Nunivak Island, some sun breaks of the Pribilofs on down to the Alaska Peninsula there, but a little bit cloudier for Kodiak Island with some of this moisture working back in, bringing increasing chances of light rain to Fognak Island down into at least Cape Chiniak area, Kodiak and those locations, but dry to the west. And then this system here tracking eastward, bringing wind and rain across all of the western central Alaska, or central Aleutians, pushing in toward Nikolsky in the afternoon. But this center is going to track southeastward. We'll see off the chart there, actually some maybe right in this area here, a couple of lows. The original low pulls back to the west here, the one on Wednesday. So after the 65 mile an hour wind gust for the southern southeast coast Tuesday night, That'll lighten up on Wednesday. Kind of the front hangs up here along the coast as that low center pulls back to the west. Still pretty deep there at 957 millibars. So good gales, possibly, maybe storm force winds. But right now, definitely gale force winds with gusts 50 to 60 miles an hour for the North Gulf Coast areas, keeping it wet and windy right up into Prince William Sound, over into eastern Turnagain Arm area, but to the north and west, dry. A little breezier over the interior. Areas of light snow here over the northeast part of the state from about, the Tanana Valley, definitely the White Mountains northeastward there into the Yukon, and still some light snow chances going on for the eastern Arctic coast. Otherwise, some scattered snow showers here over the western interior, but stays dry over the Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta. Northerly winds picking up a little bit here on the coastal areas. Now also out over the Bering Sea. Northerly winds pulling cold air down out of the Chukchi Sea, circulating around this Arctic high over the Russian Far East. So snow showers will get south of St. Lawrence Island, kind of mixing with rain. And for the Pribilos, rain or snow showers, but definitely just rain showers here for the Alaska Peninsula and the Alaska Peninsula, but pretty scattered and light. Another system back out to the west pushes a trough with rain into the western Aleutians and southwest Bering Sea. Then we'll see that takes off to the southeast or east-southeast here, setting up just north of Adak and Atka. Periods of rain there. Another one farther back to the northwest, not really affecting anywhere but the northwestern Bering Sea there. Snow showers and northerly winds for the Bering Strait down to maybe the Yukon Delta coast, otherwise dry here along the coastline down into Togiak Bay. Showers, gusty northwest winds for the Alaska Peninsula, possibly up to 40 miles an hour there. Windier, wetter conditions, Kodiak Island. This low pulling back into the Gulf of Alaska, and that still hangs a front up here over the southeast coast for Thursday. So you're going to see 3 days or so of good solid rain and gusty winds here along all of the southeast coast and along the North Gulf Coast. The interior, not too bad, mostly dry with some clearing, isolated snow showers, areas of light snow from the North Slope and the Arctic coast. And for the lows tonight, anywhere from 5 to 10 here over the western Brooks Range and North Slope, otherwise in the teens, all the way down into eastern Norton Sound and the Alaska or the Brooks Range up here, teens and 20s for the Arctic coast, 20s across southern Alaska, mild or lower 30s across areas of south central Alaska, especially down along the coast there in the 40s for the Panhandle, and near 40 for the Aleutians, mid 30s for the Pribilofs. Highs for tomorrow, mid 30s there for St. Lawrence Island, right around 40 for St. Paul and St. George, mid 40s for the Aleutians, and mid to upper 40s here for south central Alaska, near 50 Kodiak Island, and upper 40s to mid 50s for the southeast coast. 30s here, 20s and 30s for the central interior, and well below freezing here from the Kobuk-Koyukuk Valley areas all the way out to the Arctic coast. And then for the lows on Wednesday morning, 5 to 15 here, coldest over the western Brooks Range, North Slope area, teens for the Arctic coast, 20s, teens and 20s central interior, and mostly in the 30 to 35 degree range for south central Alaska, mid 20s in the Copper River Basin, and in the 40s for the southeast coast. Highs Wednesday afternoon, upper 40s to lower 50s again for the Panhandle, and in the lower to mid 40s here, south central Alaska, mid 30s both in Bristol Bay and the Copper River Basin, 30 to 35 over the southwest interior. Kuskokwim Valley in the 20s, and 20s and lower 30s, central part of the state, warmest on the east side, and 10 to 20 there for the North Slope on out to the Arctic coast. Extended wise for October 26th through the 30th, chillier than normal in the forecast here for the western part of the state and the Bering Sea down to the Alaska Peninsula, as well as a good portion of the Panhandle. Still holding on to some warmer than normal conditions up to the northeast and right around average here through the central part of the state from Anchorage on up to Utagavik. And then for the precipitation, a little drier than normal here in the west, right around normal though everywhere else.